Cejudo, Moraes, like I had a concept, and I mentioned this to you last week, I believe. So TJ Dillashaw failed his, he had adverse findings in his drug test for the last fight, and I thought the best way for them to feel this, and I knew they weren't going to do it, but I thought the best way for them to feel his title would have been a tournament. I knew they weren't going to do that. I was just saying that just to make myself feel good. So the fight that they've come up with is Henry Cejudo, who is the UFC men's flyweight champion, who just beat TJ Dillashaw.
Yes.
And he's taking on Marlon Moraes, who is the #1 contender. So Aljamain Sterling, as Sean Singletary is pointing out, was saying that, maybe Aljamain Sterling should have been the guy taking on Moraes. You can go a couple ways with that. I do want to go back to something somebody said in the chat. They were talking about Vitor Belfort against John Jones. John already beat Vitor Belfort. So, like literally John has beat everybody, dog. So, I mean, they pointed him out as somebody who John might have would John have a problem with this person if he fought him? John beat Vitor when Vitor was on TRT, the testosterone replacement therapy. So, yeah, he beat the best Vitor you're going to find. But yeah, I think he was in his prime because he was on that TRT. So, because they allowed him to use it. So, but yeah, as far as Cejudo Moraes, I can understand the argument, right? The argument is that Cejudo just beat the champion. So even though he's done nothing in this division, you just beat the champion. Now, the counter argument is you didn't beat him at bantamweight. So what takes precedence? Beating the man or beating the man in his weight class? So that's the thing. That's the thing. So that's what Aljamain Sterling's argument is. He's like, hey, dude, you have never even fought here. But here's the thing. Here's the problem with making Moraes Aljamain Sterling. Marlon Moraes already knocked Aljamain Sterling out.
Correct.
So now we're talking about running it back, a fight that wasn't that happened maybe a year and a half ago. The UFC has always been a little slow to run something back like that, especially when it was a definitive victory like that. I mean, it was a nasty, scary knockout type of thing.
How much does the politics of the 125, 135 thing play into all of this?
Meaning?
Well, you were talking about, him beating Dillashaw, not in his division and coming in and stuff like that. It seems like they're trying to compress the 125, 135 people all into the, what I'm saying? Like, it seems like the whole thing's a little messy. So those divisions aren't as hard of lines as the divisions as you go up. When you look at welterweight, middleweight, light heavyweight, heavyweight, those are like harder lines than at the lower weights, according to like the politics of what's going on.
Well, I think one of the reasons is literally the gap between the weights. So the gap between the weights at flyweight and bantamweight is only 10 pounds.
Right.
And the gap between bantamweight and featherweight is 10 pounds. And the gap between featherweight and lightweight is only 10 pounds. But then when you go from lightweight to welterweight, the gap is 15 pounds.
Right.
So then it becomes obviously much different. And then it's the same gap from welterweight to middleweight. And then there's an even bigger gap from middleweight to light heavyweight because it's 20 pounds. So, and that's why a lot of people are saying there should be a weight class in between those 15s or whatever, because people have been campaigning for a 165 division for a long time, right? Yeah. Something ultimately has got to be done with weight cutting. It's the single most dangerous thing about the sport. People think the violence, the fighting is actually most dangerous. No, it's the weight cutting. The weight cut there. That's the thing. If you ever watch a video of the people doing dehydrations to make
it's weight. Insane. It's insane what they do.
It's terrible.
You saw about people losing 10 pounds in a week. I lost 40 pounds in 4 months. And I tell people all the time when they ask me about nutrition stuff, don't get into losing weight super fast. That's something you only feel when you feel bad about the weight you're carrying. But the reality of it is your body is not meant to change that quickly.
Right.
is there's processes that go on. Your body wants to be in one place. You have to gradually adapt. We're creatures that adapt. That shock to your system's not good for you. And these fighters do this on a regular basis, losing sometimes I've heard things like 10 pounds in 2-3 days. Like,
yeah, oh, absolutely,
crazy,
absolutely.
Y'all really should look at that and look how crazy it is. I totally agree. That's like
if you look up Darren Till weight cut, Joanna Jacek weight cut, Chris Cyborg weight cut. You look at that stuff. I'm telling you, it's tough. It's actually kind of tough to watch because the czar is crazy. It's actually kind of.
I can't even help the people, man.
Right? He don't want you to do nothing. He don't want you to do nothing.
He just missed me. That's all I said.
That's all it is. That's all. But yeah, it's something, man. It really is. It's something. But I think that's the biggest thing. But yeah, I don't know if there's a strong rumor that the UFC is looking to abolish the men's flyweight division. And I'm going to tell you right now, if Cejudo moves up and wins this title, so maybe this is what you mean by the politics. If Cejudo moves up and wins this title, that flyweight thing is probably going to die.
That's what I'm talking about.
The channel, not the channel, the entire division.
Yeah,
because there won't be a name there to carry it.
Right, and that's my thing about you saying Maurice is saying he hasn't done anything in this division, and I'm saying if the division he's coming from is on life support, that is music to Dana's ears. You know what I'm saying? Like he doesn't. He's like great.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean it's tough, but I don't know. Cejudo Maurice is a decent fight.
Aljamain is saying that.
Yeah, Maurice and Pedro Munoz, as Sean Singletary was saying, is also a really good fight that makes sense. Munoz just had a banger against Cody Garbrandt. Cody Garbrandt has to have the lowest fight IQ of any human being whoever has ever existed. I mean, I have no idea what that guy is thinking when he fights. Like, okay, bro. Like, and then don't question him about it because he gets upset. So
no, because if you got to look at his coaching plan. Because their plan was specifically, we're going to start out with some leg kicks. We're going to create some spacing. Then you're going to yell "Rarg" and swing on him as hard as you can until one of y'all drop.
You're going to yell Cody smash.
Yes, idiot.
It's terrible, dude. And the frustrating part about that part of him is that he's really a talented fighter. He's very quick. He has heavy hands.
Oh, super talented, yeah.
Yeah, but he's insane. And he can't control his emotions. And the bad thing about it is that all his opponents know it too.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so on social media, he was kind of getting a hard time for the way he fought. And he told him, he's telling fans, hey, it's either kill or be killed. Okay, bro, but you're not doing any killing lately. You know?
Yeah, and I think part of it is being in a talented division. You get some breaks, you get some bad breaks going your way, you get caught because everybody's so good. And that is part of it. I can understand why he wants to stick to that, but I agree with you. It's stupidity. Where
I mean, because
I think he's talented enough that if he was a little smarter, kind of like Wonder Boy getting knocked out recently. If you were a little smarter, you wouldn't have got knocked out.
Well, you know, I honestly think Wonder Boy got lulled into a false sense of security because he was fighting a smaller man.
Like there was 5 seconds left. That match where he got Superman punch. He literally almost beat the buzzer by not hitting the ground in time.
No, I mean, it was the second round though.
But what I'm saying is 5 seconds in, he, went in, dropped his hands and backed off with 5 seconds left. That just wasn't a smart thing to do at the end of the round.
No, he hit him with a side kick.
Yeah.
That pushed him back against the cage. And honestly, I don't think anybody saw Pettis bouncing off the cage and jumping in the air with a hook. I've been watching MMA for almost 30 years.
Superman hook. No, what I'm saying
is, I've never seen that.
At the end of the match, you should be ready for the wild, let me knock you out before this match is over thing.
But I really think he thought that he was not in striking distance anymore. Because I had just hit him with a side
kick. He should have known. He should have made sure. I think Wonder Boy is super talented. I think he's a great martial artist. I think that was stupid. I think that was a dumb.
I think he definitely made a error, but I wouldn't put him in the same category.
No. you know,
Cody's in a category of his own.
Cody's a black belt in stupid fighting.
Yeah.
Wonder Boy had a moment.
He got
it was just a long enough moment to get knocked the hell out.
He got a Hall of Fame,
Hall
of Fame stupid fighter badge.
Right. Maybe Wonder Boy only got gold or silver stupid fighter.